Ladies and gentlemen, K Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is slightly down on the S&P. You can see that about 0.18% there. It looks like semiconductor was down about 1.1%. I think NASDAQ did. Looks like NASDAQ is a positive, but it looks like some of the indices were slightly down. I think it was up throughout the day. Looks like, as you can see here, so looks like this is where, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, so this is where it closed yesterday, right? And then we saw a slight gap down this morning, and looks like that gap down was bought up quickly. And then that was a second hour, we hung around a little bit. Third hour, trying to push. Fourth hour, we saw some fluctuations there, a little bit of hangman type of candle. See a follow through to the downside on the fifth hour, a little bit of selling there. And then on the last hour, we did find support at my short-term moving average. You see that light blue squiggly line there. That's kind of where we're finding support slightly towards the end of the day, and so S&P is down about 0.2% there. Pretty much flat day. You could see that some VIXs are also red today. So even with what happened today, we want to continue to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers. And I know I've been saying that for a while, and I know it's boring. You want to hear me saying this market is going to tank, man. 15%, be ready. See, that kind of a statement gets more attention, but that kind of mindset loses money. So we want to stick with our trend. Nobody knows where the top is, but we've been talking about this though. I mean, obviously, I've been tweeting things out. I've been covering it on my weekend videos every single day last week and even this week, that when market is extended. So there has to be a two mindset. One mindset is back of your head, knowing that market is extended, we may see some kind of a correction, and you start to unload your position and kind of start preparing to withstand and to face and to embrace potential pullback coming back. But at the same time, we have to be careful not to call tops, not to be too aggressive, not to get into too dramatic conclusions as we get into this grinding, marching higher type of market that we've been dealing with, right? So not a whole lot today compared to yesterday. We're not seeing a whole lot. We did see my oscillator. I have not seen my oscillator just moving sideways like this for 2 weeks now. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I don't think I've ever seen something like this, especially in a small time frame like 65-minute chart. I've seen this happen quite a bit on the daily chart, but not on the 65-minute chart. And you guys remember, when this first occurred here last week, and we talked about this is a bullish signal. This signal appears when the market is now getting into, potentially market could continue to grind higher, being adamant, staying on top of this support here, right? It is no coincidence we found support right at this level. We finally got back up here. Now we're seeing the curl down, but we're not in that environment where we've been following and analyzing this oscillator since March lows, and we saw in the past where when we do see market get into that overbought territory, and then you see a cross. And we talked about how that's a potentially a bearish signal if we see a follow through or substantiation from the price action. And usually, this is oscillators, pretty much on point, pretty much since March lows, because the market goes up and then we get into overbought sentiment. We see the oscillator get into that, get into the overbought and then crosses back down, and we see that substantiation from the price action. Usually we see a correction, right? or some kind of volatility shenanigans sideways, but we do see slow down or pull back or price not advancing as much. But what's going on right now is it's as the oscillators move sideways, price been going higher, right? As you can see. And this kind of signal occurs, and I see it a lot on the daily chart, is when the market get into that strong uptrend, you know, and there aren't many sellers. And also at the same time, market knows so many people are thinking, well, this can't go higher. This must pull back, right? And market does not like that. And it's going to continue to grind until majority of, you know, retail investors and traders start thinking, well, I don't know, maybe this will never end. Maybe this will go up forever. Then we'll potentially see a correction at that time. And that's crazy how this market works. This market is really good at conditioning, right? Traders, investors to be complacent. So, like I said, it's easy to be complacent at these levels, easy to say, hey, this market can never pull back. So you don't want to be dramatic like that to the upside or downside. You don't want to say stuff like, this market is never pulling back, man. We're going straight to 380. You don't want to be that. At the same time, you don't want to be like, this market is going to tank. It's going to go back to the March lows or, 250. You don't want to be that either. What you want to be is right in the middle, right? And we've been talking about that, how you should have your mindset right in the middle, right? Take off some of your longs, be a little bit cautious about it, but know that we're still in an uptrend. Know that it could continue going higher, but at the same time, we may see some volatility, right? Again, it's not glamorous, when I say that. But you don't want to be calling dramatic, you don't want to be coming into dramatic conclusion. And that's how you could lose a lot of money, actually. Because if you so firmly believe, just think about where we were in March lows. If you so firmly believe this was a bear market rally from 220 on Spider, and we went all the way back to all-time high, how many times should you short it very, very heavily? March lows, April lows, May lows, June lows, right? Instead of listening to what the market is giving us, right? So we have support here at 335. We talked about it yesterday. That's a gap area. This area is going to act as support, right? Currently, we're finding support in my short-term moving average. We continue to lower 335. This entire gap area is going to act as support. Obviously, best case scenario for the sellers, bears, maybe gapping it down, make that into an island top, right? That if we do see some night for sure is going to come down and fill this gap at 329 and then retest my midterm moving average. And we haven't seen, it's been a while since the last time we retested my midterm moving average. It was late July, so it's been a couple of weeks. And again, at the same time, my oscillator is curling down. So potentially we may see some grind sideways, maybe find some support here, 335, 332, right? And again, I'm not sure when this thing is going to break. I thought we may break here. We didn't. Even with that kind of selling happen back in just a couple days ago. We just bounced right back up. We just gapped up out of nowhere. And then we found support. We got right back up here. How long are we going to just continue to oscillate back and forth in a tight range like this on top of its band? Nobody knows. Nobody knows where the top is. Market is going to decide. And when we do see market deciding, we'll react to it. We'll analyze, reassess the situation, and then we can come to a conclusion. And the market is going to give us more and more information, and we can deal with it then. Until then, prepare yourself, both possibilities, right? That's the best advice I can give you in this environment. Prepare yourself for both scenarios, you could continue to grind higher. And you want to still have some longs so you can keep riding it, but at the same time prepare to withstand some volatilities and maybe prepare to accumulate when that happens, right? Strategically. So you want to start planning instead of chasing, instead of coming to some dramatic conclusions, but start planning your trade setups ahead of time, right? I'll come back to you guys tomorrow and we'll reanalyze. We'll go from there, right? You guys have a wonderful evening and good luck trading tomorrow.